Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Imperium, your video companion to your Imperium subscription. In this final episode of the series, we'll be looking at issue 5 of Imperium. I'm Peachy.
And I'm Louise. In this video, you'll find out about the weapons of the Space Marines, such as those wielded by your new hero, a Primaris Captain.
Yep, he really is an amazing model. Throughout this episode, you'll get to build and paint the Primaris Captain and also learn a new way to build your models using plastic glue.
Before we get to that, though, there's loads of new information to discover about the grim darkness of the far future. We've already mentioned that you'll get information about Space Marine weapons. There's also an overview of the War of Megaria, the moon where all your battles so far have taken place.
There's also a new story which will take you far from Megaria and introduce you to another faction in the Imperium's eternal war, the dreaded Chaos Space Marines of the Crimson Slaughter.
Of course, there's also an in-depth look at the Primaris Captain, his equipment and his battle honours. Honours which you can earn in your games with him and track on the battle record in the magazine.
We're sure you're looking forward to reading all of that, but we also bet you're keen to get your new hero model built, painted and onto your battle map. So let's get cracking.
Primaris Captains are superlative warriors and battlefield leaders. If anyone can stand up against the dread Scorpec Destroyer, your new Primaris Captain can. But of course, we need to build the model first. The Primaris Captain needs to be built slightly differently to your other models. He doesn't push together in the same way as the other miniatures you've built so far, so you'll need to use plastic glue to hold the parts together. If you're a Warhammer 40,000 Imperium subscriber, you'll have received a tube of plastic glue already as part of your free gift modelling set. If not, you can get it at your local Warhammer store or from the Games Workshop website. Plastic glue is designed to bond plastic together safely, so you cannot stick your fingers together with it. Always make sure that when you use plastic glue, you are in a well-ventilated space, as it does emit some fumes. To use it, just apply a small amount onto the plastic where it will directly touch. These will be marked in yellow in the handy images in your assembly guide in your magazine. Then just press the parts together, hold them firmly in place for a few seconds, et voila, the parts should be joined together. Plastic glue will give your models a really strong and permanent bond, like a weld. But it does take time to set properly though, so once you've joined up the parts, leave your model somewhere safe for a few minutes. Now there are a couple of things to bear in mind when you're using plastic glue. First of all, you only need a very small amount of glue to get a good bond. If you accidentally use too much, you can soak it up with some paper towel. Do this straight away before it has time to set. Like your other models, the components for the Primaris Captain are numbered. Simply clip out the parts you need and put them together following the assembly guide. You'll have your new hero ready to paint in no time. Remember how we painted our Primaris Lieutenant and Assault Intercessors back in episodes 3 and 4? That's exactly what we'll need to do with the Captain. The important thing to remember is that you'll want to use several thin coats of Macragge blue and Leadbelcher to get a nice even coverage. By the third, the model should be a lovely smooth blue over most of it and dark metal on the weapons, vents and other details. Now with your Primaris Captain built and painted, it's time to see what he can do in your games.
So far in our games, we've learned how to move, shoot and fight in combat. Now we're going to see how different weapons have a better chance of penetrating armour, making it harder to save hits from them.
That sounds pretty bad for my Space Marines. Their heavy armour is one of their key defences.
Luckily for you, your Primaris Captain has an invulnerable save, which isn't affected by armour penetration, but we'll find out more about that soon.
Great, let's get set up.
This game pits the Primaris Captain against all 3 Scorpec Destroyers. 3 against 1 worked out well for me last time.
We'll see. Your destroyers are pretty nasty, but I have a feeling that the Primaris Captain is up to the challenge.
Set up your battle mat as shown in the magazine, grab your dice, range ruler and wound markers and let's go.
Before we start, it's worth taking a look at the new details on our datasheets. The Primaris Captain has 2 weapons, a master-crafted power sword and a plasma pistol. He can use the power sword in close combat and the pistol to shoot with, and he can shoot his pistol while an enemy model is in engagement range, making him extra deadly up close.
I see both those weapons have an AP of -3, as do my hyperphase blades. What does that mean?
Well, that means that when a model takes a save roll after being hit by those weapons, they subtract 3 from the roll. For this scenario, it effectively means that both the Primaris Captain and the Scorpec Destroyers will need to roll a 6 to save rather than a 3.
That makes attacks super deadly, especially if my destroyers surround the captain and all attack him.
That's true, but remember that invulnerable save you mentioned? That's where that comes into play. If you look at his datasheet, the captain has a 4+ invulnerable save for his Iron Halo ability. That means that he can always make a save on a 4 or better.
Okay, let's hope I get lots of hits then, so there's a better chance of him failing that invulnerable save, especially since I need to cause 6 wounds on him.
Last man or three-legged killing machine standing wins. You know what to do by now. Follow the steps in your magazine until one side claims victory.
That brings us to the end of this episode and to the end of this series, but do not fear, the Warhammer 40,000 Imperium collection is only just beginning.
Over the next few issues, you'll receive more units like the formidable Space Marines Primaris Aggressors and more paints that will help you get your models looking amazing.
And that's just the beginning. Over the course of the collection, you'll build up 2 massive armies, including some of the mightiest heroes of the Imperium, across the Space Marines, Sisters of Battle, and Adeptus Mechanicus. You'll also get loads of scenery to add to your battle mats, and more paints and brushes to keep you adding details to your models.
The magazine will continue to guide you through building and painting your models, and will teach you all the ins and outs of playing Warhammer 40,000. By the time it's over, you'll be an expert player with 2 amazing armies.
Each issue will also continue to immerse you in the amazing lore and stories of the 41st millennium. You'll explore worlds of the Imperium and discover great heroes and villains, as well as getting an insight into the forces of the Imperium and Necrons.
If you've not already subscribed to the series, you can do so right now on the Warhammer 40,000 Imperium website, so you never miss an issue. We hope you've enjoyed building your collection. We've certainly enjoyed helping you start it. Now, Peachy, how about we have another game?
Yeah, let's do this.